How y'all doing? Yeah, there we go. Ebor, Mimi. Leo, what's up, what's up? How you doing, Sandy? I had to go put a shirt on. It's wrinkly. Came out of the wash. There we go. There we go. It's pretty wrinkly. What's good on Noyes? How you doing? Live again. Hey, hey. How you guys doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm having a cheap beer. Celebrating. What's going on, S? What's going on, Joe? Good evening. What's going on, Jonathan? Hope everybody's having a great Friday. What's going on, Jonathan? Non-stop aquatics in the house. What? Michael just messaged me. Michael Cohen. What do you say? Oh yeah, I forgot to add you to the group chat. Okay, so channel member exclusive group chat request. So forgot to add Michael Cohen to the group chat. Yep, here, let me add you right now. You can say hi, you know. There he is. Yeah, so if you're a member and I haven't added you, that's Wichita Falls Fish Keeper right there. There, I did that. My bad. Yo, bro, seriously, I'm a pothead, eh? Like, I'm trying not to be a pothead. That's another thing, the new place, you know, like I'm trying, well, this is German. It's Tuborg, German beer. It's the cheapest beer you can buy in Canada, actually. Well, actually, no, that's not true. The beer I like to drink, my beer of choice for the last 2 years through the pandemic, was Amsterdam Boulogne, brewed right here in Ontario, Toronto, right down the street actually. I can walk to the brewery. The brewery is like 2.5 blocks from my house, or 3 blocks from my house. I drank that throughout the entire pandemic, but I was just like I'm not drinking beer since this year. I gained some weight. I don't know if you guys can see that. I lost most of it, so I'm trying to like work on that. See, so I'm being good. That's me, right? We promote body positivity, you know, but today is like a celebratory day, and I went to the beer store, and this was the cheapest one they had. It was like $2.30 or something a beer. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that. You know what I mean? So I bought a few of those. Cheers! It's in a green can. Tastes pretty good. I drink Bavarian beer or Canadian beer. Mostly Canadian beer because I support local, but sometimes, you know, celebratory, whatever, cheap Bavarian beer is fine too. But yeah, so good news scenario, kind of. I want you guys' opinion on something. Well, here's the thing, bro. I work in film, you know what I mean? Soon as I look like a little off, these liberal types don't like that, you know? You can't work there. It's like, oh, you don't look perfect. You can't be on this show no more. You know, you gotta go. Like it's crazy. It's like, yeah, like they try to promote like extremely like unhealthy people in like one side of the spectrum, you know, while extremely healthy on the other side. It's kind of like biased almost. I don't know. I'm not trying to get into it, but what's going on, Orlando Pokey? Hello. I can't pronounce that name because I don't know how to, but it must be a gorgeous name because the writing looks gorgeous. And welcome. What are we celebrating? I like dad bellies, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I want to have a dad belly eventually, but I think because I like also have to pay bills and stuff, I would probably not be able to afford a dad belly until I'm like about 65-ish at least. So I'll probably want to be a dad before that. I think I can start affording to be a dad now. And find a mommy for for little Maliks and shit. But what we're celebrating is what kind of food for the L131st. We'll get there. I like this one. Premium food. Did by Discus Food. It works pretty good. Also, Dr. Basilia. Not a paid advertisement. None of these people pay me money. They should pay me money, but Dr. Basilia I recommend as a regular staple diet. I also feed this one. Ebo Aquaristic Artemia Pro Soft. Basically protein, high protein foods that are designed for higher end, more expensive fish. Works pretty well. Jonathan just messaged me. Let's see what he's saying. Yeah, Jonathan says it's easier if I identify as skinny. Jonathan is non-stop aquatics. Yes, I definitely identify as skinny. Definitely. I don't care how big I get. Yeah, I told them too. They were making fun of me the other day at work. This was like 3 months ago. Since I stopped drinking beer, I lost weight. But yeah, let's get back to what we're celebrating. We're celebrating getting a fish house. We're getting an entire house. To have fish tanks. We will have a mystery. Well, we do have a mystery partner of this facility. I'm going to wait till the mystery partner reveals himself. It is a man, he, so I'm not like a biologist, but I think I am able to define men and women. I can distinguish between them. At least I have the ability to do that because we haven't gone all crazy yet. So it is a friend of mine. So we're going to be partners in the facility, and they will also be there. Their tanks will be there, or his tanks. And it'll be nice. It'll be like a bunch of big tanks in the basement, definitely. So you guys will get to see what's going on in the basement. A lot of grow out space in the basement. Gonna be some big fish potentially. Nothing crazy big, but we definitely want to have at least one tank with some large enough fish that can eat almost anything that we are breeding. So that when we have a fish that we cannot sell or is deformed, we want to feed it to something big. So we want to have that ability to have that fish to feed all the extra larger or feed all the extra culls or whatever you want to call them. The mistakes, I would say. If you have a million fish, there's always going to be a few that are going to be mistakes. It's normal to have mistakes. It's like a photocopier. Sometimes the copy doesn't come out perfect. What do you do with the imperfect copy? You feed it to the fish that you have in the spare tank. That's what that is. So we definitely want to have that ability to do that. Nature is normal. I'm not against nature and stuff, and that's going to be a part of it. So we'll have that ability, and we'll have like a large grow out space to have a bunch of tanks, a bunch of fish, different types of fish. Mostly the fish that we have now, but also some things larger that haven't been here yet because of the space requirements for the fish. We would probably have some of those, whatnot. What's going on, John? Fish Barella, how you doing? LL, what's up? Chance, what's up? So in the backyard, there's definitely gonna be like grow out space for goldfish and stuff. I mean, I've kept koi before. When I was younger, my dad used to have koi, and koi require very large enclosures. Koi can get to about 3 feet. 3 feet is like this tank. Actually, the truth is, koi can get up to more than 3 feet, like 3.5, 4 feet in certain cases. There are kois that get to 4 feet, 120 centimeters. That's a big fish. That's a big fish. Okay. So realistically, to have koi, you want to have several tens of thousands of gallons minimum. Like 50,000 gallon pond is probably something you can realistically say, okay, I can have 10 koi in there. You know what I mean? A couple of goldfish. That's a big enough pond to have 10, 15 koi. You know, maybe one sturgeon or something like that to clean up. You know, something like that. But anything smaller than 50,000 gallons, 40,000 gallons, you're not doing your fish justice, because those animals require that type of space because they live in lakes. These are big animals, right? Even goldfish. I mean, I would say if you want to keep 5 goldfish, you want to have 100 gallons or more to keep 5 goldfish. So, you know, 5 goldfish get to about 8 inches each, give or take, you know, whatever, that big. You want to have 100 gallons to keep these 5 goldfish. And so, if you have less than that, you are going to run into trouble, especially unless you're doing like daily 50% water changes with like serious cleaning of the bottom of the tank, and you know what I mean. If you're going through all that process, then yeah, you can keep more than 5 goldfish in a 100-gallon tank. But if you're doing a weekly water change like most of us would be doing with a full-time job and whatnot, you can't keep more than 5 goldfish because they just create a lot of waste. And so that's why I said about the koi thing. But we are going to keep some goldfish at the new facility, I think, God willing. That's the plan. That's something I want to breed. I already have a few pet stores that are willing to buy them from me at a really good price throughout the year, actually. What's my favorite fish? And what would you be... okay, so what's my favorite fish? I guess there's a few. Angelfish are definitely one of them. Plecos are another. Goldfish are another. Like, I really love goldfish. I was gonna say goldfish as my number one. I think that's like one of my most favorite fish of all time. I bred them when I was like 7, 8 years old for the first time, and it was amazing for me to have them breed and then, you know what I mean, create these little miniature balls of like life. They're so pleasurable to watch from in a pond or in a from above, you know, looking at them from above, swimming around. They're so pleasurable to feed, to take care of. They're really pleasurable. I really like goldfish. Discus also, I would say, are one of my favorites. Plecos definitely. I can't pick one. You see, I have a fish room because I can't pick one type. And I'm moving into a larger facility also because of the same issue. But for breeding purposes, another one of my favorite fish, I think, is guppies and live bearers. I love mollies, swordtails, platies, live bearers in general, guppies. I have endless live bearers right now, which I'm planning to send a bunch of them to my friend Heather she's up north in Sudbury. And basically, those are probably one of your best bets to start breeding easily. They breed quite easily in most water conditions, especially in hard water. They do really well. Mollies and stuff are native to the United States, and like sailfin mollies and stuff like that. You know, and swordtails, also again North American fish. Really good to breed, really easy to breed. They are found in a variety of water types, especially hard water. They do good in hard water. What's going on, Tom? How you doing, Tom? Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Tom got some good-looking dogs, eh? Got like a bull terrier that I really like. It's like, I love bull terriers. They're awesome, cute-looking dogs. Has your fish been breeding? Greenhouse animals, great. What's going on, Craig? It's 19.5 degrees. Well, it's like -1 here right now. It's snowing outside. I'll trade you. You can take the 19. You can take the -1, and I'll take the 19.5 right now. Let's go. Let's trade. Do I have a website? Well, you're on it. This is my website. But at the new facility, I think we will have a website. The person that I'm partnering up with he's very web savvy. He's very good with the websites and has a bunch of different domains and stuff. So yeah, we will have a website soon. Um, oh, nice! I love green dragons. Ooh yeah, thunderstorms always work. You know what? Once this whole BS is over with COVID, I'm gonna be taking drives down south to pick up fish. So yeah, I want some of those. uh, I'm not gonna reveal that. That's a secret. I'm gonna wait till the person reveals themselves. When the time comes, they will reveal themselves. Oh, nice rice fish. I like rice fish. I've never kept rice fish. It's so odd. I always like them. I really enjoy the fact that they breed so easily. And there's so many different colors too. Like it's crazy. Like the platinums look really nice. There's a red variety that I think is really pretty. Like it's almost like a leucistic kind of yellowish kind of red. Ooh, mwah. I love them. But I've never kept them. So yeah, that's something I'm interested in keeping. H bar space says Ramadan Kareem, my G. Okay, Ramadan Kareem to you too. Secret squirrel stuff. LOL. Bring a bucket, buddy. I'm gonna bring a few buckets. Yes. We did get, I think 10. I haven't seen them yet, but yes, we got them. It's in the other facility, so they are there. I'm gonna find out just now how good they're doing. Fingers crossed. They just came from Israel, so they're pretty fragile. $35 a pop. It's not like we got 10, I think. So hopefully soon we'll have babies. God willing. I would say so, John. I would do a little bit of research, but yes, I would say so. Yes, keep the pH around 6 or so, or above, or slightly below is fine also. And yes, the buckets. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a fish hack. Okay, I'll show you the buckets. So these Home Depot buckets that I use to do water changes in. They are from Home Depot and they cost about, in Canada, they're $4. $3.99 at Home Depot. Not a paid advertisement. I have to say that for YouTube. But that's where I get them. I also get the lids for them when I need to transport fish and stuff. I gotta buy some lids because I pretty much gave out all the lids I had over the last little while to people, and I lost them or broke them or whatever and used them for other stuff and they're gone. So I need to buy some lids for the move. But yeah, that's where I get them. Home Depot, Fish get a bucket, yes. Yeah, cannons and 6.5, 6, I think they'll be fine. I wouldn't go below 5. That's where I think Plecos are like, I've had Plecos die below 5. So I would let it not drop below 5 pH. Wizard. God willing, you have babies that, yes, I mean, I'm hoping. I know, and anytime they come in such bad shape to begin with, or they're really bad quality, so I really don't see them all that often. So I'm happy that we got some, and I'm hoping that they breed. You guys want to see something cool? Platinums are breeding. There's babies on that comb. There's a whole bunch, so that's going to be stuff going into the new grow out. But yeah, so that's the plan at least. Yes, they do. Greenhouse Animals wants to know the most expensive fish I own. I don't know. I think I just showed you. These guys are a couple of $100 each. That's like a $600 pair right there. They're not mine. They belong to my cousin. They're not for sale, obviously. they're pretty expensive, I think. The fish behind me are pretty expensive also. I got my Ciba Plecos there, so I don't know, a couple of $100 each, $200-300. What's my water bill like? Right now, zero. In the new place, we'll find out. In this place, I'm not paying for water. This place, I'm using the water. It's included in my rent where I am right now, so I'm not paying for water. But at the new facility, that would be a part of our something I would have to pay, or like we would have to pay. But the good thing is we live in Canada. In Ontario is the land of lakes. Literally, there's lakes everywhere. Like where we're moving to, there's a lake like not too far away, and then the big lake, which is one of the biggest lakes in the world, is like right now from where I am, it's like 11 kilometers. I drive 11 kilometers and I'm by the lake, right? I actually go by the lake in the summertime. I work by the lake quite often too. So we have water. For water, it's just a connection fee. You pay like a monthly bulk fee. It doesn't matter how much you use. It's not like a big deal here. Yeah, I live in Canada. Eh? But yeah, no, I know. Everywhere else in the world, you guys are paying out of the ass for water, which sucks. I think it's something that we need to conserve. Obviously paying for it is one thing, but wasting is another, right? Like, so I feel like a lot of the people in charge are not doing the right things. They're charging the working class people like you and myself for water, but they're not charging corporations as much as they should. If you're making money from using water and you're polluting it on top of that, you should be paying a lot more. I think that makes more sense compared to like the average working person. Like carbon tax, for example, me driving my car 3 or 4 times a week to go to work, you know what I mean, 11, 12 kilometers, and I have a very fuel efficient car, is not the reason why we have a global warming crisis. It's the large industries that are polluting that is the cause, but they try to put the blame on us, the working class, But yeah, that's my take on it. pH in Toronto is usually 7. Yeah. Usually about 7.5 is where you expect it to be. That's where the municipality wants it to be, because otherwise it corrodes our pipes apparently. Yeah, you should get member perks, because John has, what do you say? It's not easy if you identify as skinny. Okay, it is not easy. But yeah, John has instant access. Yes, you know what, Tom? I agree with you. I know me and you were not agreeing on this for a while. It took me like almost 2 years of being locked in my own house to recognize the BS that was going on. And yes, it is communism, and I'm completely against it. Yes, and vote Republican, or if you're in Canada like me, vote Conservative, or like if you're like me, vote for the People's Party of Canada. That's who I'm voting for. That's my people. People's Party of Canada. Canada first. Whoever's here is taken care of first. We gotta take care of our people first. The people that are here, the Native Canadians, the Indigenous Canadians, the First Nations, the people that are born here, and the people that have been here all their lives. Everybody else that's coming in, we gotta say, okay, we're gonna take care of you, but Canada first. You know what I mean? PPC, man, all day, every day. Vote Conservative or Republican. Not to get too far into the wizardry. But yeah, you gotta put that in where you can, because I feel like conservative values are under attack. Real values, and some liberal values as well. So, but that should go without warning. Stop fighting my kitty tetras. What should I do? I guess you gotta throw that gourami out. I'm sorry, but like the truth is, a lot of times, a lot of these dominant male fish, they don't tolerate other animals in their territory that they cannot reproduce with. You know what I mean? And that goes to any animal. It doesn't necessarily have to be another gourami. This goes with some angelfish. Betas are notorious for this type of behavior. Some tetras can do this, some male tetras. Like pacus, male pacus can be very aggressive when they come into breeding season. But like male pacus get like 3 feet. So, or 2.5 feet. So like a lot of people don't get to that point because their pacus don't make it to 3 feet. But if they did, they would become territorial and aggressive. So there's not much you can do. You can try to rehome it. I think that's the best strategy. They're not a good community fish. A lot of times, I think that's something I want to make videos on at the new facility is community, the myth of community aquariums, okay? There are animals that are true community animals. And angelfish are not community animals, okay? They're not. Like, people will tell you they are, fish stores will tell you they are, but they're not. True community animals are tetras, very community oriented, you know? They live in groups, they're pretty cool. Angelfish only do this when they're young. When they become adults and they become mating pairs, they don't want nothing else in their house. They're like, yeah, this is my house. They might tolerate a pleco because the plecos don't live in the same water as them. You know what I mean? Plecos live on the bottom. They're like, okay, yeah, you're like my mate. Clean the poop and eat the garbage. I'm good. You know what I mean? Don't come up. If the plecos, I have angelfish breeding pairs with pleco breeding groups. The one thing I noticed, these guys, because there's no angelfish, they'll be up here, they'll be swimming up here in the nighttime, they'll do all kinds of stuff, right? Even in the daytime. With my tank with the L340s where the angelfish are, the plecos never move past the bottom 3 inches of the glass. Unless they're like suffocating and there's some issue, like if the power is out, like today there was a power outage for like 15 minutes, but it wasn't that bad. But if the power was out for like an hour or two, they might come up for air and stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever, something like that. Or if the air don't stop, you know, something like that. You know, like some kind of freak accident, they might come up. But otherwise, they will never pass the bottom 3 inches because the angels start to attack them, right? So that's something to keep in mind. A lot of these animals are not community fish. They don't tell you that. Name an underrated pleco species. I think L134s are pretty underrated. L280s, Microacanthicus Vendragati. So L280 Microacanthicus Vendragati. It's a small pleco. They grow to about 2 inches. Really pretty. They look pretty similar to a large spiny type of Pseudocanthicus. They have all the characteristics of a Pseudocanthicus, except they're about that big. They're also considered hypancestors. Sometimes some scientists, these people don't know shit. You know what I mean? They just read books, and a lot of times, not all of them, because I do know some scientists that are quite smart, but for the most part, they haven't seen a fish in nature in their whole life. They've lived in a little cabin, you know, in some cold part of the world, reading books and looking at dead fish, and coming up with the scientific theory, right? But because Microacanthicus can hybridize with hypancestrus species, they consider it to be hypancestrus, but I believe the reason for them to be able to hybridize does not justify calling them a hypancestrus, because it is a complete genus on its own and it has different characteristics than hypancestrus. There's various other characteristics, you know, it's tooth structure, it's a morphological structure, mostly how it looks. It does not look like a hypancestrus, it looks like a Pseudocanthicus. So that's why it's a Microacanthicus, right? The way it's named. But that's what I believe. It's super underrated. They're like about that big. You can keep like a group of 10 in like a 10 gallon. That's a goal at the new facility. I'm going to set up a 10 or 15 gallon with the Microacanthicus vendragati. I have a group of 9. They are breeding in the big tank. They might be fry, so I'm going to catch whatever I can. Move them to the new tank. The parents as well. Obviously the parents mostly. With some wood, some, you know, like power heads and, you know, something cool, nice looking. And it'll be a 10 gallon or a 15. I would want it to be a 10 gallon ideally. That's my goal. Depending on how the tanks end up falling and getting set up and who's going to get what tank, whatever. It'll be a 10 or 15, and I'll set them up in their own setup. And make a video about that. A breeding group in a 10 gallon and it would be more space than these fish need, because I have them in the big tank right now at 65, and they never leave where the sponge filter is. There's about a square foot, a 12 inch by 12 inch. It's not even that big, a space that they occupy, all 9 of them, and they live, breed, eat, do everything in that space, and there seems to be space for at least 10 more. You know. Um, yes, the truth. That is the truth. People invest in like NFT. Yeah, it'll be fun. Just kidding. Blue avatar betas are fun. I love them. Honestly, NFTs might be cool. That's something I want to do at the new facility too. I'm not hugely tech savvy, but I'm learning about the NFT market. I'm more familiar with the crypto stuff, but again, we'll figure it out. You guys are smart. You're gonna teach me. Uh, yes, it's a micro acanthicus. It's just like how you spelled it, with the A between the O and the C. It's exactly that. I'll message you. That's the thing. US Scaper is one of the channel members, and I have him as well as everybody else that's channel members that have joined the chat on a chat group. So we all talk. So I'll send you that on the chat group. I'll send you information on how big they get and all that good jazz. You know what, Fish Bella? That's not a bad idea. So y'all can super chat for tanks. Channel members are gonna get tanks. Definitely, we'll have a member only tank where the members get to decide what goes into it and stuff like that. But yeah, you guys can super chat for tanks. We can do like a crowdfunding thing. I definitely need help. Not to be like too crass about it, but complete honesty. I'm going into debt getting this place. You know what I mean? Like even first and last month rent. I worked my ass off, but I mean I'm still getting by. This new place is a huge expense. It's like about $3,000 total before expenses like electricity and water and stuff. So definitely per month, and that's not including like phone or internet or things like that. So or food or dog food or fish food or whatever, right? So it's a huge expense. And yeah, any help can help. So yeah, super chats, whatever. We'll do a crowdfunding thing too. It's a house, yes. Do not forget to hit the like button, yes. What's going on, Mallow Planted Aquatics? It's a house. It's not a storefront. It's not open to the public. It's not gonna be open to the public. We're gonna be. It's just a breeding facility and a garage space, and that's it. Not gonna be open to the public. Oh, you got a work call. Yep. Alright, I gotta do this. I'm trying to get booked for work like every day of the week. So I can pay for this place. So basically, I'm gonna be working like pretty much 5 to 6 days, 60 to 70 hours a week. Hopefully that's my plan from now till Christmas. So I can work and save up enough money to pay for next year's February and March rent, while I kind of like take it easy for the 3 months because it's winter and I don't want to be outside in minus 20 degrees weather when I don't have to. I mean, I'll still work some days, but I'm not gonna kill myself through the winter months. And there's also a little bit less work than it is in the summer. Now it's like super busy, so I'm trying to work. So I'm doing this. Okay, apply. That's how I get work every day. So I'm trying to get work for like tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but Monday. Actually, I'm working Monday, but next week. And all the other times that I need to work. But yeah. I grow up. I don't know, dog. Yes, they are like L471s with pseudocanthicus species. They look like a pseudocanthicus, but a mini pseudocanthicus. The people that catch them call them dwarf spiny monsters. I think that's because they have um, like the spikes on the body look like a pseudocanthicus. And you guys want to see what I look like when I'm a cop? I play a cop sometimes. Well, I've been playing a cop. But look, that's me as a cop, right? And that's me as a gangster on the same day. See? So, well, the second picture I was just like off my cop outfit, just being normal. But that's what I look like without the cop outfit. It's so funny. This happened today. I went to the LCBO. 50 to 65 each is not a bad price for those little fish, but they're tiny. I did play a guy in Star Trek. I play an alien in Star Trek actually. I'm still working on some of the new stuff too. I play a few aliens. See, that's me as an alien right there. But yeah. Okay, we're getting the place, guys and girls. Just got the confirmation. If you have been here all this time, that's what I've been waiting for, is the confirmation of this new spot. And we got it, and we are getting this new spot, God willing. Looks like it is good. Carlos wants some L280s. Okay, US Caper, I got you, buddy. I'm trying to get them to breed right now in large scale, so that's going to be a plan at the new spot. So I'll breed some for you. It's not too hard. They should breed quite easily. They're one of the easier fish to breed. So definitely, you're good. I got you. I got you, bud. I got you. Okay, let me take that last picture out. I'm just trying to apply for this job, you know what I mean? Alright. You gotta put up pictures and stuff. So show them how I look like. Not fat. So when people in Hollywood tell you that they support all people of all shapes and stuff, it's all bullshit. I can't get work if I look fat. Because I had to show them pictures of myself. How I look like to get work. You know what I mean? And it can't be fat. So, yeah, they're lying. I'm looking pale. I'm just a little happy that we got the spot. So that's another thing I just wanted to update. Greg Adams, what's going on? Let's smoke after lab. I'm tired, bro. I just came home from work. I'm gonna crash. Call me bad, but I don't like the alien you just showed. Oh no, a lot of people are like Sandy. When I wear my costumes, people like there's people that I work with that don't come near me because they're scared of how terrifying that costume looks. I mean, I'm completely comfortable in it. Okay, that's a lie. It's really hot to be inside of that thing. I wish they put like some kind of cooling system in there, but they don't. They don't take care of me like that. But you know, it is what it is. But you know, it is what it is. Gender, well, male. You know, and I'm trying to get a job right now. I don't know if you guys care or not, but this is what I have to do every day to find work. I'm not, you know, I don't work for a specific company. I work for different studios, but every day I have to apply for the job every single day myself. And if I don't work. So I gotta do all this stuff. And my girlfriend will attest to this. I cannot multitask. So I don't know if you guys are noticing that I can't continue the conversation and also focus on what I'm doing here. Because I am a man like that, in my genetic makeup, I am unable to do both things at the same time. Okay, I am unable to do this as well as talk and be coherent and keep up the conversation. So that's a trait that I have that I'm not proud of or anything like that, but it is what it is. I gotta give them my height, my weight, my waist size, my chest size. So yeah, this whole, yeah. Anyways, I'm doing all of that right now. I don't know if you guys can see, I'm filling out all this. My weight, my jean size, okay, my neck, okay, giving them my neck size, sleeve length. This is what I gotta do to get work. I'm not even joking. This is literally what I do every day to get work, or every couple of days, because sometimes they book me for a whole few days, right, which is nice. Inseam, okay, chest, because I just want to work, like I just want this gig. Women bust size, I'm not a woman, not dress size, okay, hat size, 7.5, shoe size, okay, which clothes brands, designer, off the rack, because I do, I fit a men's size, small, off the rack, any clothing. Oh buddy, I don't even know. I don't keep track of this stuff. I work in a million different stuff. We live in Toronto, right? Toronto's a movie city. We have, in 2022, there's about 40 big budget movies and TV shows that are being filmed in Toronto. So anything you're watching on TV or on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, on Disney Plus, on Hallmark Channel, Hulu, whatever you want to call, CBS. I work at CBS Studios quite a bit actually. I did 2 shows for CBS. We just finished. I played a doctor in one of those, and I was a detective in another one. Just like non-speaking, continuity roles where I'm like a specific person at the office. They see me all the time. Every once in a while I get the odd line. I get paid for it, but it's nothing big or fancy, whatever. But what I like about that is I have continuous work. It's called continuity. Just to make it look like the office is a fixture that is there. There's the same people, same group of people there, the same police officers, whatever, or the same doctors and nurses, whatever. I like those because then I get paid more that way, because if I do like day acting, I do like the one-line roles and small roles and stuff, I only get to work that one day, and I get like $400 or $500 for the day. But this way I get like $350 a day on average, sometimes a lot more. On average it's about $400 a day. Its minimum is 300, and I get 5 days, 6 days a week, so I like that. But yeah, in terms of naming all the shows, it will say, I don't even know. There we go. Oh, I gotta put my email, cell phone number, all this stuff. Okay, here we go. Toronto, motherfucker. I mean, this a lot of this stuff is like so redundant, like it makes no sense that they're even asking this stuff. But I work in one of those industries where like the people that are working in it are like crazy sometimes. They're like special, I guess, and so you gotta kind of accommodate their specialty. Not competent, I get work because of competence, not because of my skin color. A lot of people think that I get a lot of work because of my skin color. They like me because I'm a competent human being. I work really hard. I show up on time or before time. You know what I mean? Like, I have a huge, extensive wardrobe, like whatever character they want me to play, except an alien, I have clothes for it. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of people that are not competent that are getting work because of whatever woke agendas and stuff, and I don't support that, because it makes people like me that are competent look bad, because it puts us in the same boat, of incompetence, right? I don't know. That's just my take on the whole thing. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel, you should get work based on competence. But yeah, here we go. Submit. Yes. Finally. Oh my god, now I had to fill out this thing to prove that I'm a human being. This is what I had to go through to get work. Bicycles, that's not a bicycle, that's like a moped. Like how, okay, let me click that. There we go. Okay, next. Human being. Traffic lights. Okay. Oh my God, I'm trying to get work. This is the woke agenda because people are this incompetent. There we go. Ugh. All right. Sorry. Here we are back. I think I got that job. Let's hope. The agent is my friend, you know. So she's my good friend actually. You know, she's really nice. Her name is Miranda. I'm a robot. You know what? I don't think they're trying to eliminate robots because I don't think robots are trying to apply for work. I think they're trying to eliminate the most incompetent people because they can't eliminate them in any other fashion except that way. That's why they have that. I don't think it's to stop because think about it. Why would a robot want to apply for a specific job that's not even advertised to the general public? This is like a specific call that I got through my agent. There's only like 20 people that are getting the same call, right? It's not going to be a robot applying for this. You know what I mean? It's just to like eliminate the incompetent people because they can't discriminate people based on incompetence because if the person that they discriminate happen to be looking like me, they can go and sue them or something like that. You know, the stupid stuff, right? I don't support that. I think people should be employed based on competence, you know? Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the system I had to go through was AI. Okay, so Ebo sponge, I'm liking it quite a bit. My fish are loving it. I fed it to these guys like a few times. No issues. I fed it to the babies. Also, really small babies because I was lazy the last couple of days when I was working and stuff. Not the last couple of days, but a week before. So I was super lazy because I came home and I was like super tired and I just wanted to sleep. And I was like, okay, I gotta feed the babies at least. So everybody got Ebo sponge and they did good. They did really good. So I'm pretty happy with it. Another thing I want to add to that, and it's a great question, Jonathan. What's going on, Steiner? How you doing, buddy? Discus love all day, bro. You're gonna be happy. We got the new spot. Gonna be space for discus tanks, big tanks. Got the tanks for the discus. You know, the secret person that is gonna be collaborating with me. It already has discus. Bought a bunch of new ones. So discus all day. We're gonna have some discus in the new place. You're gonna be happy about this. What's going on, L22T? But yeah, like something I want to add about the Ebo sponge, which I thought was quite interesting. Okay, we're getting the spot. Everything is on board. Everybody's on the same page. The realtor just messaged me. You know, now it's all just a matter of me and the other individual person that you know is partnering up with to get the fish factory going is going to sign the lease. So we've been waiting till we got this one thing fixed, which we now have. We just confirmed, and now we're going to sign it and send it over after this live stream. Excuse me, in the next 12 minutes I will sign the lease agreement. So if everybody, you know, anybody watching now, you know, all you guys that have supported the channel, it's going to be great for us. I think this is going to be a fun adventure. I will do a fish room tour here. I will film it in the next couple of days before I start tearing down tanks and moving stuff over. And once we set up at the new place and everything is set up in a couple of months, I'll have a tour of the new place, God willing. So these are the plans that I have for the channel. And Rgb Lights, yes. I mean, I personally, if you're asking my opinion, I like daylight. This is natural daylight light, okay? 6,000 Kelvin. 6,500 Kelvin is where it's supposed to be, but these fluorescents come at 6,000 and 5,000. So I got the 6,000s. You can see it's bright white. It's not yellow. This shows the best color of your fish. Okay? Natural color. You see the greens green here. Let me turn the camera around, show you exactly what I mean. See? True color, right? Natural color. Hold up, hold up, hold up. There we go. There we go. Okay? So, pretty nice, right? And you see the fish exactly as they are in nature. If you were to see this fish snorkeling, this is what you would see. Okay? That's what I recommend. And but the night crew, planted tank, high luminosity or high whatever lumen light, the 7500 Kelvin or 10,000 Kelvin. They have like one that's like 15,000 Kelvin. I have a couple of those, super bright, but like the super high electrical usage. Those are great too. Again, but what it does is that light combines several red, green, or RGB or whatever spectrums, and create a white light, which is great. So I like that one also. Anything that creates white light gives you natural color. You know what I mean? You don't want, what you want to avoid is the color spectrums below like 5,000 Kelvin. Like below 5,000 Kelvin, like 5,000, 4,500, 4,000 Kelvin, now you're going into yellow light. And that doesn't look that nice, and your plants are not going to do too well. They're going to grow taller than they are going to grow bushier. If you have 7,000 Kelvin light, you're going to have more bushier plants. They're going to grow more on the ground level, as opposed to like a lower color temperature. If the light is yellower, the plants are going to grow taller, trying to reach for the light, you know. These are things to consider. Now, I'm not an expert in light. I've only taken basic physics. I have basic understanding of physics, light, you know, how light works and stuff, you know, and all that stuff. But I'm not an expert in that stuff. I just know what I need to know to work, you know, my plans for my plants and stuff like that. You might want to go to an expert in light technology and you know, understanding of like the whole wavelength and stuff like that, you know, things like that. But for me personally, what I like to use is these LED fluorescent lights. Before these, I used to use the fluorescent lights that came from Home Depot, the 4-foot fluorescent lights that were 6,500 kelvins. These particular lights are 6,000 kelvins. These are from Amazon. They are 4 feet as well, and they work really well for my applications. I grow really nice plants. My fish look nice under it, and everything looks natural and beautiful and works perfectly fine. So that's what I recommend. They will flower. Cool for low boil. 3,000 kelvins good, but I mean, it will be, your plants will grow taller. They will come out of water most of the time. For 3,000 Kelvin lights, these are things to consider. If you want your sport plants, for example, to start flowering, you can start using like maybe 3,500, 4,000 Kelvin light, and they will start flowering right away, because it's just like a change of season type of deal, I guess, for them, right? But you know, generally speaking, if you want to keep them underwater and more lower to the ground, you want to give high light, high intensity light, and more power, more radiation. So, you know, these are things you can measure. I'm not an expert to explain this stuff, but you can get a power meter and measure how much power you're getting at the bottom of your tank, for example, and figure out what kind of plants you can keep in this particular tank based on that particular value, plus the dissolved carbon dioxide concentration. Another a tip I want to give you guys and girls, I think, if you are going to keep plants and fish, you're not going to be able to keep all kinds of plants in a tank where you want to focus on keeping fish, and vice versa. If you're going to keep a heavily planted tank, most fish, like your plecos and stuff, will suffer in it. You cannot keep them in there. You want to focus on keeping plants at that point, and maybe a couple of fish that live close to the top of the water surface that can take up some of the oxygen from the top of the water surface throughout the night, because the plants will take up most of the oxygen and your fish will suffocate. On the other side of things, in a tank like this, your plants are not going to get enough carbon dioxide to grow, enough nutrients to grow. Like I have ammonia filters here. Like I have a nitrate scrubber, like my nitrate removers, whatever, my resin. So there's no nitrates in this water. There's no ammonia. There's no nitrites. So like these plants barely get any food, so they're barely hanging on. So a lot of plants will not survive in this tank. Even moss does not make it in this tank. Okay, these are the only plants that are making it, and these particular ones have actually mutated to make it in this tank. They didn't used to make it in this tank, but these particular ones just grew out of the ones that I put in there. The parent plants died, but these ones just made it through the years, and they're now taking hold, and I'm letting them grow. And these are like special, these particular plants. Generally speaking, most plants that do not make it in this particular tank because of the low nutrient content. So if you're gonna keep plants in a tank, like where you're gonna keep these type of fish, you're gonna suffer in terms for your plants also. These are things to keep in mind, I think. No, exactly. Even the same thing applies to keeping different types of fish. Like right now, these particular fish are just dither fish. They're not doing anything in this tank except keeping my zebra plecos happy, right? The zebra plecos are happy because there's something swimming about, and there's something keeping them feel secure. There's no threat. So if I did this, that these guys didn't run, zebra plecos didn't run, right? Everybody knows I'm not a threat. They're chill, right? But if these guys weren't there, zebra plecos won't come out. So these are things to keep in mind. But the one fish that's benefiting in this tank is just the zebra plecos. The other fish are just accompanying them. They're not breeding. They're not getting any, advancement to their species in this particular tank. The zebra plecos are, it's optimized for them. Same thing applies to the plants. These plants happen to survive in this tank. Okay? They didn't die. So they're there. If they died, too bad. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm only focusing on the fish that I'm focusing on this tank. Same thing applies to this tank over here, where I have my Ultimate Angels. So, target fish, dither fish. Also dither fish. This guy is doing okay. There was another guy that got, a little bit bullied and he died. It was one of these nice angels, but at the same time, it's a dither fish. It's not the target fish. Focus is on the Ultimate Angels, right? I think that's the point I was trying to make. You can't always keep everything you want to keep in the same tank. It's like, like you and your girlfriend, or you and your wife, or you and your husband, and your kids are living in a house. You have your house, you have your 3 bedrooms or your 4 bedrooms, you have your 2 or 3 kids, you have your partner, you have your 2 dogs, you have your house, right? Let's say your friend from another country or whatever wants to come and spend some time at your house. Sure, it's an inconvenience, but you can make do. You create a spare bedroom, put a bed for them, here you go, spend a few weeks, good, right? It could be your brother, it doesn't matter. They're there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, great. If they're there for a month, now it starts becoming an inconvenience. If they're always in your way, they start becoming something that you kind of like try to avoid now because they're in your house and you don't want them there because they're inconvenience. Because they're not meant to be there. The same thing applies to your aquariums. You know what I mean? A tank usually should have whatever animal you're trying to breed there, and then other animals that they kind of need to keep them happy, like your shrimp that you might need to have in there, your other small fish, bigger fish, whatever, whatever. But you can't go to the pet store, keep buying fish, put them in the tank, you know what I mean? And expect them all to get along. Always make sure everybody's good and there's fish not trying to kill each other. That just doesn't happen, Huge fan. I've been watching you for months. I'm getting my first group of L46 this week after. Nice, congratulations. I have not kept coral red pencil fish. I'm really excited to get some. I'm planning on getting some soon. They need low pH water. Very nice. Good job. I would recommend keeping the red pencil fish in their own tank with a lid. ideally pH of about 5 to 6. You know, that's what I've been reading. They come from black water. That's why they're red. Um, because they live in like tea-colored water. It's easier to camouflage in that water when you're red. The animals don't seem to see the red because the water is red. They see through the red, or whatever it might be. But yeah, they do better in a black water setup, from what I've read and understand. And so yeah, they're great fish. Nice. Oh, you're so lucky. You are so lucky. I think you would have no problem breeding your zebra plecos or your red coral pencil fish. Rocket gars. Those are like the small ones, right? Like they're about that big, or do they get bigger? I'm not 100% sure what they are, so I need to look them up. But there's a few different pickerel type, gar type fish that don't grow too big. I like those. But then you have like muskies, like what we have in Canada here, that grow like 6 feet, 7 feet, even 8 feet. Muskies can get big. Muskies can take on small dogs, you know, things like that. So if you do live next to a lake in Canada and you have a small dog, your dog can be prey to a muskie. So keep that in mind, because they take up the same niche of the evolutionary like or the ecosystem as a crocodile would in the tropical parts of the world. That's why they're called alligator gars. Muskies are the biggest, as far as I can remember. We have them in here in Canada in lakes and stuff, and they get big. They get 6, 7 feet, sometimes even larger, and they can take small dogs and cats and stuff. So be careful if you guys are in lake country, which is Canada, Ontario, and you have a lake beside your house, and you let your little dog go near the water. They can be pulled away into the water by the muskie and eaten. So keep that in mind. 1.5 inches, nice. I would say keep them without caves for at least 6 months, and then you can put some caves in. Once they're grown together, there's less chance of them being mean to each other. They develop a hierarchy. I think that's the most important thing in a group scenario. I'm not going to stay on too long because Father Fish is coming on, but I'll show you guys something right now. Like you see how this group of fish are here? They're all siblings, but there's about 30 of them, right? They're about 6 months old. They're about 1.5 inches, right? See the ones in the bottom? Those are the more aggressive, more territorial ones. These guys are the less territorial ones. These are the least dominant ones. They've figured this hierarchy out. These guys are good to go into a tank like this in the bottom with caves because they will not kill each other at this point, okay? If they were going to kill each other, they would have done it already. So that's something to keep in mind. When they get to about that size and they've lived together in a breeder box or whatever in a small tank together, they figure out their hierarchy, and then once that happens, there's very little chance of them becoming aggressive towards each other. Yeah, the pikes are big, but pikes get about 3.5 feet, 3 feet, 3.5 feet, 4 feet. Sometimes bigger, but mostly about 4 feet. You'd expect 120 centimeters a big pike. But there's the tiger pikes, and there's the musky tiger pike hybrids, and the hybrids get the biggest. That's from what I'm not 100% sure. I haven't caught on any myself, but from other people's accounts, the tiger musky hybrid, the pike hybrid, I forgot what they're called, but there's a name for them. Those guys get the biggest, just because they're hybrids, you know. So, my pleasure, Michael. Pike is one bad. Yep, true. Pikes are crazy. The truth, yes. I put the caves in. Non-stop Aquatics sent me some caves. I made a video about it. You guys can see some of those caves actually right there in action. It's in my new zebra pleco breeding setup. There's one right there, and there's one right there. They were sent to me by Nonstop Aquatics, which is Jonathan in the United States. John is a channel member, and John is super cool. Oh, they get to 6 to 7 inches scaper. That's not that bad. I like little guys. Little fish I can work with. We might get one of those type of pikes for our predator tank, where we can feed our call fish into. You know? I don't know. I'm not in charge of that. I'm gonna allow that for the other person to pick that fish. Well, I wouldn't say remove your plants, Leo. What I would say is whatever plants that don't make it, you just have to say, okay, those are plants that are not meant to make it in this particular setup with whatever I have going on. And just to briefly cover that, what I recommend is what I usually do is I float the plants. Okay, so when I want to test the plant out, so I'm trying to, this I know is gonna work, but let's say this is my first time with this particular plant. Okay, I get the plant and I throw it in the tank on the top. It's just floating. I'm not doing nothing to the plant. Okay, but I don't know if you guys can see that, but you see the roots that are growing? You see that? So that means this plant is suitable to live in this tank. It starts growing. Now, once this starts growing more down towards the bottom, eventually, another few weeks from now, I will plant it in the substrate in here. Okay? Now, a good example of a plant that did not make it is this plant here. I don't know if you guys can see. See? It died. Okay? So, the roots did not start growing. So that's a sign that this particular plant is not suitable to live in this particular tank at this particular moment. Okay? Now this plant is suitable, but you can see there's another one. They're both the same plant. This one here is not growing roots yet. So, ideally, if it doesn't start growing roots in the next couple of weeks, I will remove this into a different tank before it dies on its own. Okay? So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, if there's any other questions, channel members, please message me and I will, obviously, we talk, so we're good. Everybody else, if there's last minute questions, you can ask me right now. The truth is, anyone selling Kijiji, I've had some success. Yes, I sell on Kijiji. A lot of my fish sell on Kijiji. It's great. I love it. I mean, you don't have to do species specific. Like you can see, I have few different species in this tank, and it works. Short term is definitely pretty successful. You can have animals that live in different water columns. So you have your so exclude the angels, because the angelfish are a little bit of an anomaly. These guys are still young and they're not breeding size yet, or they're just getting to that. But like, look at the tetras, right? You see how they're living up here? So those could live in your Pleco tank, and I would highly recommend having tetras in your Pleco tank. Also the Cordoras, you can see one sitting right on the wood log right here. They're very beneficial to have in your Pleco tank because it makes the Plecos feel more comfortable, right? So a Pleco, a Cordoras, a couple of types of tetras on the top, completely fine, right? The problem happens is when people just put 2 of this, 2 of that, a gourami, 2 angelfish, 5 Plecos of different types, different diets, and it's like a mishmash. It just doesn't work. Those animals just, like everybody's gonna compete for a specific amount of space. So you just, I promote responsible fish keeping. I think that's what I want to promote. So as a responsible fish keeper, we want to make sure the animal you're bringing into the house has the sufficient space required to live in the tank that you're providing for it. So I'm getting a new dog at the new facility in a year, within the next year or so, and I want to get another bulldog. I found a dog that I liked from a breeder that I liked, or actually found a breeder that I liked, and I contacted my friend who has dogs. Um, Sandy knows the person I'm talking about. Her name is Katie. So Katie has this dog named Damon. He's a 140-pound Johnson's bulldog. Okay, his head's about this big. I am not even joking. He's 140 pounds. His head's about that big. He's a very beautiful dog. Very well behaved. Amazing temperament. 11 generations of pedigree, okay? $3,500 for one puppy. So I want to get a puppy from them. Once I'm more settled in at the new place, maybe throughout the year, maybe at the end of the year, for Christmas or after that, next year, whatever, whenever. Once I'm more settled in. One of the things I asked Katie, so I was doing some research on their Johnson's line, that this particular line, bloodline, how, what they need. So I asked Katie, like, does your dog leave the house at all? Does it live in the house all the time? Is it completely content living in the house and the backyard? It goes in the backyard. I have the same size backyard as her now at the new facility. So is the dog going to be content? Is that going to be enough space? The next thing I want to consider is that dog going to be getting along with my dog? Is my dog going to feel like it's encroaching on her space? Things I have to consider. But mine's getting older, so she doesn't really care. As long as the other dog doesn't annoy her, she'll be fine. So she'll just like growl at it if it annoys her, otherwise she'll just be sleeping, right? Princess is mostly like leave me alone dog now, you know what I mean? So these are things to consider. If you're getting a new fish, it's the same level of responsibility. It's just like getting a dog or a cat or a rabbit. It is Easter coming up in a few weeks. A lot of you guys might be celebrating. I also celebrate not Easter itself, but the coming of spring, like the new weather and stuff like that. If you are planning on getting a rabbit, highly recommend doing your research. Rabbits live for at least 8-10 years, some of them even longer, and it's a long-term pet. It's not just for a few weeks or a few months. They're very intelligent. You can litter train them, and they are just like dogs. I used to have a rabbit in this apartment actually before I had my dog, and he was very well behaved. He went into the bathroom. He didn't have a cage. He lived in the apartment with me. Didn't bite any cords. Didn't eat any of my electricals. You know what I mean? He was a very well trained animal. He had his litter box. He went in, he took his pee and poo, and he came out, sat on the couch like a dog, watched TV. You know what I mean? When I had my friends over, he'd come chill with the dudes. You know what I mean? He was one of the people. So rabbits are quite intelligent. So if you are planning getting a rabbit for yourself, your kid, your niece or nephew, or for a loved one, highly recommend doing the research and realizing that it is a long-term animal. And having said that, I'm going to sign off. Let's go over to Father Fish. Corey for warmer waters. I mean, there's not a lot. I do keep my CW049s, which are here in warm water, but they're quite expensive. They're quite rare. So I don't know if you can attain them that easily. 027s, again, also seem to do okay with warmer water, but they still get like some colder times. There's not a lot of corridors that can tolerate warm water long term. The trick with corridors is that they can tolerate warm temperatures as long as they also get a colder period throughout the year. So if you can provide those two, they'll be fine in the summertime. When your room temperatures go up, you don't have to worry, but you just have to increase the air oxygenation in the tank. But if you are going to have like other fish in there and you can't drop the temperature for your quarters in the winter, then there might be an issue, so something to keep in mind. Nice, Goji. I mean, some dogs will right now. My dog will probably go after it. Actually, probably not, because she doesn't go after squirrels either. She doesn't run after rabbits either. Like, we've been outside. She just looks at it like, what is that? I love you guys and girls. Thank you so much. And I'm super excited for the new spot. If you're watching this on the replay, comment and let me know. Give this video like a thumbs up and all that good jazz. Share it and all that good jazz. Become members. It is helpful to me, especially through this new process. It really does help me out quite a bit if you guys are members, but it does help you out as well because there's a lot of benefits to memberships. In terms of like help, one-on-one support, and also the group chat, the super secret chat group, all that good jazz. It does help out everybody that's trying to breed specific types of catfishes and other fishes. There's different help available. So having said that, I'm gonna sign off. I love you all, and thank you so much, Leah. Mwah. We're gonna sign off, okay? We're gonna go over to Father Fish. God bless you all. I'll see you on Sunday, and try to do more videos throughout the process of moving as well, and keep you all updated on what's going on. God bless you. I love you. Mwah. Bye.